Hello card making friends, welcome to day 30 of Die Cut December. Today I'm making a birthday card using these dies. I've got a wreath die, some flower dies and some leaf dies. My card is going to be 5.5 by 5.5 inches and I'm doing it on smooth white cardstock today because I wanted to print my sentiment. So I printed it bang in the middle of the panel that I've stuck on the card, and the idea is to create a wreath around the sentiment, a floral leafy wreath. So the first thing we're going to do is create some mixed media panels from which to cut our leaves and flowers. For my wreath and leaves I'm going to be using bundled sage, lucky clover and pine needles distress oxide, and I popped my card onto a grip mat so that it doesn't fly all over the place when I'm doing my blending. And I'm going for a blotchy blend again. So not really a blend, more of a blotch. Because I'd like to get lots of different greens on my leaves to make them look a bit more natural. And for a little bit of shimmer, shine and contrast variation, I'm going to splatter on some gold. It's quite a dark gold metallic paint. These are my Prima Metallic Accents paints. The palette is something of a hybrid. I took my favourite paints from the original palette and from the pastels palette and combined them into one palette. So now that's fully splattered, I'm going to give it a blow dry with my hairdryer, but I will take it off my grip mat first. I'm not sure, I haven't read or seen anything about how well grip mats hold up to being heated with a hairdryer, so I don't really want to ruin it because they're not cheap tools. I'm going to use this die to cut out some of my flowers. It's got lots of different designs on it and some leaves, but I'll just do a panel from which I can cut the whole thing, because anything I don't use today I'll put in my little pot of extras and use them on something else. For my flowers I'm going to use pink and orange. I've got worn lipstick and dried marigold. Again I'm going for a blotchy approach. To add a little bit more texture to my floral background, I'm going to stencil through this bit of sequin remnant which has got tiny little circles in. And just go over it like that to create a little bit of texture, like I say. And I'm going to splatter on a bit of water. Again, just creating some texture, because these flowers are quite small once they're die cut out, so I want them to have some variation. I'm also going to create a yellowy background for some other floral dies, just so there's a mixture of colours. This is scattered straw. And to add a little bit of extra texture to the yellow, I've got a sort of crisscross, gritty, almost industrial pattern. Next, I'm going to make sure that all the backgrounds are completely dry. Then I shall die cut my shapes from them. I think I'll also die cut one of these out of vellum as well. Right, I'll be back when that's all done. So I've now got 3 piles of die cuts. I've got my yellow ones, my peachy ones and my green ones. But before I do that, I want to add a few background splatters in the same gold that I used on the green. around where the die cut is going to go. So I popped my die on. I can give this a wipe in a bit, just to help me know where everything's going to go and what might peek out. Let that dry before we go any further. I did get some splatters on the happy birthday to you sentiment, but I can go in carefully with a black pen and go over the bits that I think need to be darkened again. And now we can start sticking things down. So I'm going to give myself lots of glue here for dipping things in. Now I did make a bit of a hash when I pulled the wreaths out of the die. I did tear both of them that I cut a little bit, but that's okay because there's going to be lots of things stuck on top of them, and I can hide the joins. So I've got the first green bit down, and I'm going to sandwich the vellum in between the first green bit and the second green bit to give us some lovely layers. Whoops, if I can get it stuck down. There we go, quite happy with that. Now I'm going to go around and add some flowers, and I'm going to tuck them in different places around and about, just where I think looks good. I think I'll start with the larger flowers first, because then I'll know what room I've got left for the smaller flowers. So I find it quite helpful to hold the card away from me and maybe squint my eyes a little bit, and that helps me see if there's any areas that are too heavy or not heavy enough, or any gaps in the different colours. So I'm going to stick with that, with the peachy pinky ones for now, and then come in with some of these yellows. I want to add another mostly pink rather than peach flower somewhere, maybe up here. Just tuck it away, just so there's a bit more of the pink. Now I've got some of these extra leaves. I don't want to introduce too many different styles of leaf, but just having the occasional different one I think will work. I think that's almost there. It's quite full, which is what I wanted. Just using a little bit of tissue to dob up any splurgy glue. So I think that'll do for the flowers and leaves, etc. for now. I'm really happy with that. I love the colour combination, I like the texture, I like the 3D-ness of everything not being quite glued down completely. But I'll leave it and come back to it and see if I think there are any gaps later, because sometimes just coming back with a fresh eye after you've set it aside for a while makes things jump out. There might be a spot that needs a leaf or a flower that I can't see now while I'm looking at it. But what I am going to do before I walk away is use my mini enamel dots and add a few here and there. I'm going to use some for flower centres to add a bit of gloss and a bit of dimension to some of the flatter flowers. And I've also got some white Nouveau drops which I'll dot about for a bit of gloss and a bit of texture. So on the pink flowers I'm going to put the yellow dots, and I will use the pinkish dots, the peachy coloured dots on some of the yellow flowers. And now for the Nouveau drops. Right, that's it. I think that's day 30's card done and dusted. I hope you liked the card and I hope you've enjoyed the video. And I hope to see you back here tomorrow for the last day of Die Cut December. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.